Well, as we return today of Willem II, the remarkable start continues. We have now drifted well away from a relegation battle, and we're somehow in the battle for Europe. Albeit we've got a horrible finish to the season and it may all go wrong. Us, and to be fair, Groningen, who were bottom of the table when you were last here, have gone on one hell of an adventure. We're both now pushing the top half. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 4 of the coach's head with me, Daniel. Our alternate head coach story continues here at Willem II in the Netherlands, and today is a very important day. In the end, we've decided to return one day later than originally planned because that game against NEC, pretty much pointless now. There's nearly 20 points between us when we faced each other, and now we're going to face the top two. Ajax and Feyenoord are battling it out for the title. Could we end up having a say in it? If you're looking forward to finding out, then please do put a thumbs up on it. It's been a remarkable few months. We've continued in much the same vein you've seen on camera. We've largely avoided injuries in key areas. Mainly we've had them to back up players. And as you can see, we're 1 point behind PSV in 7th. And look at Groningen behind us as well. They're up to 34 points and are flying up the table too. Both of us seem to be going well. Before that though, there is excitement in the air. It's youth intake day. You'd be wondering why I've returned at 9 AM when the fixture's not till the afternoon. Well, we're going to meet our latest crop of youngsters. Hopefully, there'll be a brilliant one or two in there. Before we go and introduce them though very quickly, let me tell you a few words about today's sponsor. For this video, we're proudly partnered with HelloFresh. HelloFresh are on a mission to make your meal times easier with pre-portioned ingredients, quick and easy recipe cards, and plenty of treats we can get on board with too. Get 60% off your first box plus free dessert for life by clicking a link at the top of the description. Sounds good, doesn't it? I've tried it before. I'm a big fan of the brand and have helped with my weight loss this year too. There's healthy options available, so why not grab your discount and give HelloFresh a go from the description below. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we may have a star. Vladimir Pesic is a Serbian attacking midfielder. 1.5 star ability, 4.5 potential. There are a few players with decent potential behind it too, from all over the place actually, and a couple with 1 star ability for now. So let's look at those two just behind, who are Adnan Jahari. Yeah, he's not great, but may develop physically yet. And Emre Baran from Germany. Little bit better. Probably won't make it at this level though. The one who looks like he might is Vladimir Pesic. What are you like? Please be good. He's okay. He's 16 years of age. He's more an average of everything, a jack of all trades rather than a master of any. But the one thing that is good for his position is he's got loads of technique, a great first touch, and a little bit of flair. We're probably going to need to see him develop a little. But actually, I think he could become a good squad player at this club if we're still here to see it many years in the future. That's not the worst youth intake in the world, but not really got that big standout world star we were hoping for. I guess it probably doesn't need to, given the fact there's so many we can promote from the youth team already. There's players that are developing well, that are getting first team minutes, and the rate that people are being sold at, and because of that business model to be at a negative transfer budget, then I think we might have to rely on it a bit. If we have a look at the club vision, it did say in the patch notes where this was fixed after the January update, that unless you had a certain actionable objective in there, you wouldn't have the issue with your budget just being wiped away. Now, they're delighted with it at the moment because we are working well. So hopefully that means in the summer we will still get a bit of money to spend, or the director of football will be able to add, because at the moment we've just got that holding midfielder and that youngster coming in, albeit they'll add a bit of quality to the squad. As you can see from the staffing page, there's still people coming in, there's still additions on the way. But we need to have a look at the schedule because it has been a remarkable rise. And look at our form since we've been here. 1 defeat each month, otherwise exceptional performances, largely very good defensively. And I'm more impressed by the rate at which we're scoring goals with the team we've got as well. Let's have a look at what's happened since you were here, because you joined me for the go-ahead Eagles game after deadline day. Unfortunately, we did go out of the cup to PSV the game after, Lakinia's first half goal was overturned by 2 in a second period by the Giants. But against Canberra, we basically secured survival with a 2-0 win. They were pushed further down as Razak and Thomas scored first half goals. Razak randomly hit a little purple patch here. Tommy Sinjago, cover star of the first episode, he turned up in the next game. Away at Emmen, we won by 2-0 with him and Lakinia getting a goal in each half. Against the Graafschap, it was a bit of a weird game. We went 2 up very quickly in the second half after a silent first period. Then we conceded 2 and then we came back to life. Lakinia, Razak, Boussaid, Grerdem and McKendy with 1 goal apiece. At the start of March though, it was a bit of disappointment as we lost away at Lowly Venlo. Nigel Thomas got an early goal which was overturned before half time. But back-to-back wins followed against FC Twente, Erman, Pratijin and Boussaid with the goals before a 4-0 win at NEC. Denzel Hall scoring early before second half additions from Lakinia, Erman and Pratijin. I should say that maybe that sale of Kamenovic on deadline day wasn't so bad because Erman is now developing and improving massively from being in the team. So maybe the director of football has seen something we didn't. And in terms of the players coming in, I said I thought Boussaid would be a star. He's starting to be it. I didn't think Razak would, but he's starting to improve as well. Urges, the other guy we got on loan on deadline day, barely really featured to be honest. So let's have a look at where that leaves us because we are in 7th place and we're in a battle for Europe because if you're in the top 7 come the end of the season, let me get the rules up for the league, you do go into the European places playoff and it also depends on prize money because you can see the difference is basically about 250 grand per position. Could make a big difference to what budget we get next year, with the finances looking pretty healthy. With that in mind, let's go and get ahead to the first of today's 2 fixtures. As you can see, it is a tough end to the season. We faced first, second and third back-to-back, then 5th. This month is a torturous one. If we start getting results against the likes of Ajax and Feyenoord, I will start to think Europe is possible. No idea what the last manager was doing to fail so much here. We're going to get through to the Ajax game, test ourselves against the big boys. Well, it's fitness test time ahead of the Ajax game, and perhaps the one disappointment we've had since we've been here is that the big January signing Jamal Gonzaga just can't stay fit. I mean, what's he had? 4 injuries? 4 injuries since he's been here. All minor ones, but just stopping him from getting fully fit. And it is a shame because I do feel he's got superstardom all over him. He's the sort, maybe like Erman at centre-half, who, when he takes over from Lakinia next year, will become stronger and better. He's definitely the type that needs a pre-season. Groningen not missing him, though, so maybe that tells a story. Let's get through the fixtures, though, as Go-Ahead Eagles are pushing themselves away from the danger line. We're not worried about that, though. We're now looking up rather than down. We've got a 4-point cushion to 8th. We're looking at PSV and Herenveen. Could we even qualify for Europe automatically? Probably not with the remaining fixtures. But let's see what we can put out. Is that Tammy Abraham up front? I think it is. Doing a very good job for Ajax. What a player he's turned into. Top scorer in the division as well. Hamed Traore, good player in the number 10. Manswerk still there. And Wrench there as well. Slanina in goal. They've not really continued to bring through youth by the looks of it. They've got a relatively aging squad there. We have a look at their team. To be fair, the squad's got a fair few young players. But most of the starters are a little bit older. And I would say, I don't want to get on the Bayern drum straight away again. That squad looks quite small. I'll be interested to see what that looks like in the summer. Certainly their transfer activity is one to watch. Let's get through the team selection though. It's a sold out stadium as you'd expect. We've just lost our second choice keeper for the year, so the reserve one will come in. But let's have a look at our lineup because I think we're at full strength after an international break. We look really confident. We're playing really well. Lakinia, the number 10, has been magnificent. He doesn't deserve to lose his place. And Boussaid is finding form too. It's all looking very promising. But at the moment, we're going to stick largely with the team that we've been playing. The only question is what we do when it comes to youth players on the bench. We had a young striker on there last time, David Nicol. But this time we're going to bring back Gonzaga, who is going to replace him on the bench. And we're also, I think, going to drop out Van der Put, who's not had the best training month, for fellow young right-back Torbed, who we're a big fan of. So he's going to come on the bench there. Otherwise, it's a very strong side and squad, probably about as strong as we could hope to have. And this is the 11 we're going to play today. It is Rossi in goal with Hort and Dokic the fullbacks, Erman and St. Jago a centre-half. Latchkart and Knockfatson the holding midfield too. Thomas and Boussaid the wingers. And then Lakini up behind Pratagin up front. Had a little sticky spell, but he scored another 2 in the last 2. He's still going well at 32 as well. The only worry I've got is that he's out of contract at the end of the year. All of the times we get the recommendations, it says should be offered a new deal, is a good part of the squad. But there hasn't been an offer yet from the director of football, so he's not following his own words of wisdom. Let's go and get through to the Ajax game and probably learn how good or bad this side really is. Well, it's 6 changes for Ajax, including the return of the likes of Abraham and Wrench, so they're going back to full strength. Hato at left back, a good player too. Let's just get through the first half and see how we go. Although I have spotted one name on the bench, as well as Sky Vink. You've got Alessandro Saccarti, who, for those who followed my Luton Twitch save a few months ago, well, no, he was a bit of a star for us in that one. Let's go and tell the lads to pick up where they left off, because we're basically saying that every week at the minute. They've played so well for the most part of this save. As we head into the first half of this big Eredivisie game, we did worry when we came to this club that what if we're not completely safe when we get to this run of fixtures? Well, now we're thinking, could we do the unthinkable? If we lose them all, we slip to mid-table, it's no disaster. If we start winning some of them, we might be looking at European football. As Knockfatson, no, not like that. That is the first time since we've been here I've seen something of that ilk. Is it the pressure of not having that time on the ball against the top side? Or have I just kiboshed it? Curse of the commentator and all that stuff. 5 minutes gone, a gift for Tammy Abraham, and 1-0 to Ajax. Not the start we were hoping for. We are up the other end though, as Knockvatson has a chance at redemption. Free kick delivery hits the first man though, and Ajax are able to play out from the back, though Slanina gives it straight to Thomas. Hall breaks away down the right, there's 3 in the middle. It's across to Pratagin, but he was off. Lakini missed it at the front post. He was on if he'd scored it. But it went straight through, and I could tell straight away Pratagin wasn't onside. The flag went up, this will be disallowed. And it is. 1-0 after 12 minutes, but one hell of a response to going behind, as Slanina plays a big ball downfield. Won by Latchkart and now Pratagin. Only goes as far as Traore. And Ajax will break away down the right with Varys. Good football again as they keep it for Wrench at right back, and he finds Satalo. We would expect an Ajax side to be good in possession. We'd expect them to dominate the ball. It's whether we can do enough on the counter and whether we can contain them. At the moment, that's not been so easy. Varys finds Sapberger. Chance to shoot, but he gets the switch on to Wrench. He's got space. Boussaid does well, but again, taking a few liberties at the back there. Mansverk stops us from getting it clear. We're camped in our own half. Good ball over to Traore, who's in for 2-0. Okay, this is the first time that we've played the top 3. And I think over the next 3 games, we're going to learn we're maybe not quite as good as those sides at the top. The gulf seems to be quite big in terms of points. And I think we're seeing why. Being aggressive as well, is that the right approach? Maybe we'll have to adjust against these big boys. It's just the top 3. PSV haven't been great this year. But overall, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. I mean, we've had 70% of the ball. Forget what I said about Ajax being comfortable in possession. We're dominating the ball, but we're getting caught out occasionally. And we're not taking our chances so far. As Mansverk's got the corner, if it becomes 3, that would be a little harsh on the balance of this game. That's what happens when you play the top sides, though. You deal with the clinical edge. Oh, that's a big deflection. Mansverk's shot takes a nick off Dokic. It's counted as a missed interception. That's a little harsh too. Hits Rossi and goes in the corner. Did well to get a glove to it. This is why Ajax and Feyenoord are at the top. Genuine clinical edge. They've been pretty much in their own half for the most part. 3 shots on target, 3 goals. And Willem II take the first hammering since I've been here. It's probably the first game we've let in 3, is it not? Let's get through the dressing room. Let's say you've been poor. But really, I don't believe that. I think we've been okay. We made 1 individual mistake and then 2 clinical chances from Ajax as they're in again. Pratagin heads the corner away. We'll think about subs in a minute. Might be a good game to get those youngsters on. Get them 25 minutes, 30 minutes in this sort of experience and atmosphere. I know it risks a hammering for us, but we've done our job now. And it will certainly benefit us next season. The Sattelberger goes wide to the left to Hato. Down the line to Magno. Chance to cut inside. Finds Sattelberger again. I mean, Ajax are toying with us now. I won't lie to you. Traore keeps possession. Are they going to start to keep the ball as well? They certainly do well in our half, don't they? We're chasing like headless chickens, but Mansverk has just put a perler in from 30 yards. Rossi maybe should do better at his near post, but the backup keeper's injured now. He's got no competition. He can do whatever he wants, can't he? I think we've just reached a bridge too far in this one. Certainly a good decision to come back to play the top sides, because now we can see the true difference between us and that top three. And the gulf is big. Let me tell you that with no mistake. As Thomas brings it away to Praticin, could we get a goal to celebrate? More so, could we just keep the ball for a minute, please? Santiago finds Ehrman. Back to the goalkeeper, Rossi. And we're just slowing it down. There's an acceptance here, isn't there? Dokic down the left to Boussaid. Here we go on the attack. Come on, give us one chance. Boussaid beats his man. Gets towards the byline. Free in the box if he can find them. Thomas is up. Headed away as far as Hall. He'll be coming off in a minute, but can he get an assist? To the byline he goes. Into Thomas again. And it breaks away, but the referee stopped it here. Didn't look a penalty to me, I've got to admit. But that means nothing in the FM animation engine. What's the review going to decide? No penalty. But now you've stopped the game when we had the ball 20 yards out. And it's going to cost us, isn't it? Frustrating, to say the least. Boussaid, despite that run, has had a really poor game. He's going to be replaced by... I think Razak's the younger of the two with Minder, isn't he? I want to bring on the younger players to improve here. So Razak will come on for Boussaid. In the holding role, I'm going to go for both Magendi and I'm going to go for Grutfam. Gonzaga is going to come on for Lequina, I think. Maybe even Praticin up front. Now I'm going to do Lequina. And then at right back, we'll take off Denzel Hall. And we'll bring on Arinchelo Torbed. The young right wing back will get a run out. Might put him on a defensive duty. Just keep a little bit of shape there. With half an hour to go. The game's done. It's our first hammering and the first top side we've played. And boy, do we know it. So let's get the youngsters on and get some benefit out of the game. Well, 10 minutes to go. We are on the front foot here, but to be fair, Ajax have taken a couple off now as well, as Torbed has got it on the left after a free kick's cleared. Grutfam back into midfield. Now Torbed finds Santiago, who is making his way back. And again, you can see Ajax, such a clever shape. They're forcing us away from goal. Dokic has it in the centre circle. And Santiago is trying to find that pass, but it's not there. Grutfam turns right, finds Thomas. Can we get the goal? Thomas is challenged, but he gets it to the edge to Gonzaga. Would be nice to see some quality from him, but if he can avoid injury, I'll be happy enough, as Razak has created a great opportunity. He's put it wide. You can see the commentary piling on the pressure. Did I read that right? Have we got the higher expected goals here? Did I just read that right? Ajax expected goals is 0.8 and ours is 1.1. If ever a game summed up that those stats were useless, it's this one. And that's sort of why I'm not that upset. It's not been a terrible performance. We've just made a really stupid mistake at the start and Ajax have smelt blood and taken advantage. There's not a lot between us other than a world-class striker. Put Abraham in our team, it might have been the other way. At Santiago, we do get our goal. And it was the opening episode cover star. That's what we want to see. He's a really key player at the back, a good defender, a model citizen. I really hope we keep him next year. But a 4-1 defeat, a tough lesson from Ajax there. But we did have a lot of chances. We created against the top side. Now what can we do against second place? We move over and still try to have a role in this title race because Ajax, yes, are now top of the table. But we've got Feyenoord next and they're just 4 points behind. Can we show a good performance again against the top side? Can we maybe do a little better defensively? Let's skip ahead and find out. Well, Ajax have stopped the Groningen rise and put themselves well in charge of this title race. The only way they stop it is by Feyenoord beating us. We struggled with the top opposition we've played in this save so far. So let's see how the second best come up against us. We've got a very similar squad available. I've let Torbed play for the youth team, so I would expect that he's not fully fit for this one. And talking about legends that we've come up against, well, the head coach save we just finished, we had Dimitri Helson at Bayern Munich. He was only about 23 then. So 3 or 4 years earlier here, he's got to be a teenager. He is, but my word, he's still pretty good. Dimitri Helson is at Feyenoord on the left wing. I think that highlights the quality difference between the sides. It's Calvin Phillips playing centre midfield for them. He's 33 now. He's playing as a rotation option for them. Comas at the back, Gomez, Wan-Bissaka as well. This is an interesting Feyenoord side. Let's see who we can put out against them. I would expect it to be pretty much the same 11. Is the bench the same? Oh, Torbed's still available. We've got Grudem back from injury. 45 minutes recommended. You will come on for Kai. Let's leave Sissoko as the sub-striker. This is the squad we're going to go for. Exact same 11 from the start. And hopefully some gems off the bench again. Feyenoord v Willem II. We played okay against Ajax, but got done for ruthlessness and clinical finishing. Will the same happen against Feyenoord? Let's go away from home and find out. Well, it's 5 changes for them today. Helson, one of those coming in. You look at the bench, there's some pretty strong names there, but they've got a very young feel further down it as well. Takumi Minamino, probably the most recognisable name among them. But starting, there's plenty of superstars. It's a team that you can see why they're pretty strong. We're going to say, though, we've got nothing to lose. Let's give the lads a bit of confidence. Let's get into it. We didn't play badly last time. We've been brilliant for 3 months. And all I want to see, rather than winning these games, is can we be competitive? Though early doors, we're doing our best to throw it away again. It's early goals that were the problem against Ajax. This time, though, Rossi saves the near post header. And he's got the chance to play out from the back. You can see the width we've gone for there with Dokic and Hall spreading. Dokic finds Boussaid, who cuts into Erman. Don't get caught in possession in your own third. It's out to Dokic again. He gives it away, but does well to win it back almost immediately. Gives the ball to Erman in midfield. Plays forward to Lequinha. Nice start here. Up towards Pratijin. Flicks on for Thomas. We're in. Oh, straight at the keeper. Really good chance for Willem II. And we opened Feyenoord up so easily there. Pratijin with a brilliant flick on. And a promising start on the break. A good performance so far against the second best side in the country. And maybe we can show that we've got the edge to compete at this level. Well, I must say, it's all gone incredibly quiet here. There's 5 minutes to half time, and there's not been a highlight since we saw early on. As Slory puts the cross into the box for Helson. Oh, we saw that a number of times at Bayern, didn't we? Helson is a danger at the back post. We've dealt with it. As Rossi plays out to St. Jago. Don't get caught. And plays it wide, and we do. Wan-Bissaka nicks in. Good early cross towards Helson. We know he's their star man. It's a great tackle from Hall. He's already on a booking and he's playing against the star boy. We've got to be careful there. Lequinha finds Thomas. Can we break quick enough? Down the line to Lequinha again. Space to run into for the Brazilian. Will he go for the cross? He does. Pratijin's in the middle. There it is. Willem II lead at Feyenoord. The dream continues here. What a start to our career it's been. To move over and have this impact over now, 4 months, has been remarkable. We lead 1-0 at half-time away at Feyenoord, who are second, narrowly behind Ajax. This is a proper performance. This is a proper team. And I am really thrilled with how we're competing. Forget the scorelines. We played okay against Ajax. We've beaten most of the teams in the bottom half of the league. And we've been competitive almost every week. And this has been yet another remarkable display. I am going to take off Denzel Hall because he's on a yellow. He struggled with Helson. Torbed will come on. Bit worried about him marking Helson, but what can we do at this point? I'm also going to take off Nigel Thomas, who's had a poorer game. He's going to be replaced by... Who's available to come on there? I might go for Gonzaga, you know. I want to try and get him fit. I've not really given Earlers a run out, but I feel like this is maybe about getting our players up to speed for next season. So let's go for Gonzaga there. We'll put Lequinha on the right, which is where our goal came from first half. And then I'll leave the rest a few more minutes. But do want to try and get the youngsters on again. They'll get a lot more football if we find a way into the Europa Conference next year, though, won't they? There's a corner kick for Feyenoord, taken by Helson. Back to the edge. Don't get done by that. After all the quality, to get done by an edge-of-the-box corner kick. Oh, that's heartbreaking. We really shouldn't be conceding there. 20 minutes remaining. It's 1-1 now. And we will look at a few more changes. As Helson has a free kick. Short to Bettini. I thought he was going to shoot. Bettini will. It's over the bar. Both holding midfielders struggling a touch. Boussaid not having the best of games. I think we're going to make a couple of changes. We'll go McKendy for Nock Varson. And I will take off Boussaid. We'll move Gonzaga and we'll move Lequinha over. And on the right, I'm going to bring on Earlers. Give him a rare run out. Just because the Razak one, he looked a bit angry, I didn't want to bring him on straight away. We're going to encourage these boys though. Yes, it's a smash and grab. It's actually been a more dominant Feyenoord display than it was from Ajax. But this is the way football works out, isn't it? Ajax have a world-class striker, and Feyenoord haven't broken us down so much. As McKendy goes back to Rossi, Dokic just about gets away with it. We do lose it in the end though with Lakinia, and it's a shot just over from Van Lerven. 10 minutes remaining here, and I'm going to take off Lachkar. My final sub will be Lachkar replaced by Grutfam. Another one of the academy stars on against the top sides. But what an effort this has been. A far worse performance from the Ajax game that we lost with 4 goals conceded. But a point away at a side chasing the title just strengthens my argument that we are a very decent team. And should we also make history here? It's our first draw since we've been at the club. It's taken long enough, hasn't it? What a performance and effort that is. Feyenoord stay 6 behind Ajax. We've done them a favour. We go back above PSV, albeit they've still got to play this weekend. And we're just 1 point behind Utrecht and Heerenveen. Imagine we finished 5th this season. We've got AZ Alkmaar to go, but then we face Heerenveen. And then we've got 2 slightly easier games to finish against mid-table sides. I wouldn't rule it out just yet. Let's go and have a look at what happens the rest of the weekend, because there is another game this Sunday. Or is it going to be played later? Yeah, we'll see how PSV get on against the Graafschap, and then we'll decide when we're next going to be back. Well, PSV only just go back above us. A 2-2 draw for them means they're up on 45 points. But we have made a remarkable bit of progress here, as to be fair of Groningen. But what a finish to the season it could be. We have got 4 games to go. We face AZ Alkmaar and Heerenveen in 2 more tough games next. You'll see a similar type of game to what we just had against Feyenoord. Then we finish, actually, it's not against the Graafschap. It's against PEC Zwolle and against Fortuna Sittard, 2 mid-table clubs. Can we find a way to sneak into the European playoffs from what has been the most remarkable half a season we've had in this save? An excellent effort from the boys. Their first draw, yes, the first heavy defeat as well, but we played well in that game. And every single match since I've been here, bar Sparta Rotterdam, we've scored, which, considering 5 of the 6 games before we came to the club were 1-0 defeats, is a remarkable effort in itself. We're not going to worry about that for now, though. We will be back for the big 2 games at the end. Will it be mid-table mediocrity, which would be no failure, by the way, from where we were? Or will it be a chance at a European playoff and maybe a chance at the Europa Conference? No one would have seen that coming when we joined the club. Certainly not me. Pratigen, the hero again, he's scoring goals for fun, and young players are starting to prove themselves as good ones at Willem II. If you enjoyed this episode against the biggest boys, and I think we held our own to an extent, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know how you think the season finishes. What have we done here? Because we seem to have got it oh so right without doing anything that drastic, really. If you want to stay up to date and see if that continues, whether we do have drama and playoffs at the end of the season, and do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We will be back to the normal schedule now, so this will return on Monday. You'll find episodes from this save every week on Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Between now and then, note, we've got the Southend save on Saturday and a little fun experiment video on Sunday too. You can find all of those playlists up in the eye above, as well as our guides, including those to youth development. But also, you can find links to the Twitch channel and the football podcast, where we've got loads of regular content too. Thank you very much for watching, for being here as always. Your support is massively appreciated. And I'll see you back here for the final 2 next time, as we hope to finish the season in style with a chance at making it to Europe. Who would have predicted that when we joined Willem II?